you see the major CEOs of companies, they're the visionaries. They don't get down and grind.
Blood, sweat, tears, grind, and then all of a sudden be swept from under her.
So I was working so much and I have a small child. I decided just to take the leap, and instead of putting in hours for other people, might as well I take that time and put it into my business.
Hey guys, welcome back to Accountability on Demand podcast. I'm here with Entrepreneur on the Rise, and I have a special guest. Sis, introduce yourself for the people.
Hi, my name is Sheera at She Talk Staffing on Instagram.
And hold up. This is what we not gonna do. This is what we not gonna do. What do you do?
So I am a nurse and I operate a healthcare staffing agency. And I also teach other aspiring entrepreneurs to launch their healthcare staffing agency as well.
Whew, all I see is money flying around like this, y'all. Because for some of us, you have to acquire and own a business. And for some of us, we work in a business. And what I love what you do, because I used to do the home health care. Like, I was a CNA back in the day, like 20 years ago.
Me too.
And I can imagine from being a CNA, if I owned my own staffing agency, y'all, crazy. So what made you get into the area?
So I was working so much and I have a small child. Mm-hmm. And especially during the pandemic, I decided just to take the leap. And instead of putting in hours for other people, might as well I take that time and put it into my business. So I have nurses working out in the field while I'm home catering to my kids.
Hold up, y'all. Oh my God. Like, y'all probably think like she being hella extra. No, I'm not. I just heard you say you're at home, taking care of your child, and people are working, serving, making an impact, and they get to make a living, but you also get to make a living. How did you like shift your mindset from worker bee to CEO to owner?
So it was kind of difficult because if you're used to being on the go so much, having to just sit back and let others work, It can be real tough. So I just had to just mentally say, it's okay, I'm making an impact. I am employing others. Others are coming to me to get approvals for their homes, their cars. Ooh. So I am making an impact even though I'm not actually out in the field. So
Yes. So what I'm hearing, and the reason why I'm dissecting this and breaking this down, y'all, because this might go over your head. And I'm working with one of I love him to death. His name is B's Business Builder. And he helps you to acquire businesses. And many times we just want to build a business. That's cool. But what if you could buy a business? What if you could teach others how to build their own, and then everything elevates from there? And I know, because more than likely, you know, we colored folks. What does the parents usually say?
You got to work hard for money. Money don't go on trees.
Get a good job. Get a pension, 401k, get a degree. All of that traditional thinking. But what you're doing, what I'm doing, it's not traditional. So I knew it had to have some kind of courage and faith and perseverance. Where did you get that different way of thinking from?
I think just seeing my mom working hard, going to work as a young child, and she being a single mother, that really pushed me to really grind and do what I have to do. And what made me see that it was worth it was after 28 years of her working at a job, they were going to lay her off. So she only had 2 years to retire, and they were going to just lay her off, and all those years were going to perish. So good thing she had a union to back her up. But that really was my driving force to make an impact and create my own for my kids.
Yeah. So seeing that happen for your mom, blood, sweat, tears, grind, 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 and then all of a sudden be swept from under her, you begin to be more proactive than reactive, right? Mm-hmm. But I still feel like there's some courage and some fearlessness because for those that don't know, I left corporate 18 months ago. Corporate, almost making six figures, consistent check every 2 weeks. That's all I knew all my life, but I decided to leave. I'm still nervous, to be brutally honest. Mm-hmm. Even though my business is doing well, I started my second business, which is We're Here at Pop Up and Create. When you're conditioned in a certain way, it's not like you can just snap out of it and just do something different. It takes community. It takes perseverance. It takes courage. So, like, what helps you to stay above the drama? And when I say drama, guys, I'm talking about, girl, oh my God, that's what you're doing. Family, friends, naysayers. What helps you to stay above that so you can keep going?
To be honest, I did not involve my family in my business.
Smart.
So my mom, she did not know until like 6 months after.
What, girl? You kept that to yourself, girl.
Mm-hmm. Because I knew how my family was, and I know that they strive to go above the corporate ladder, and 9 to 5 is all they know.
Right.
So it would be odd for me to just make this transition. So I kept it quiet. And
Yikes.
I was on my own. I joined mentorships, and that's what really kept me afloat.
So when you decided to say, you know what, y'all, this is what I did, not what I'm doing, this is what I did, this is how it's going, what was their response?
So my mom, so I told her after the whole transition with her job. Mm-hmm. So then she actually could understand, because she knew that 28 years would have been perished like that. So she encouraged me, and she said that's a good thing.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure if you would have said it before you did it, sometimes other people's fears are projected on us, and then it impacts our decisions.
Yes.
Right? Do you think she would have been like, are you sure you want to do that? I don't know. All that fear mongering.
Yes. Especially being from the islands. We have a different notation because we're in a foreign land, and I'm by myself up here. So there would definitely be fear.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Thanks for sharing. So I kind of want to switch gears for a minute. As you guys know, I'm a business therapist and mindset coach. And what I'm seeing in these internet streets is that self-care, healing, self-love is like, it's on the horizon. And I'm loving it, but I'm also wondering what is going on in the water and in the culture and the community to where it's surfacing. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
So I think it's so much years of being in survival mode as women that we just need to take a step back. Just watching my mom hustle and grind, and then still have to come home and make ends meet. And even though she's feeling bad, she still have to show up. So I think now, while we have the life, might as well just live it. We could still hustle, we could still grind, but taking that time out just to relax, get massages, go out, have girl time, travel. Because a lot of our parents, they haven't traveled because they're waiting for retirement, but suppose retirement don't come.
True.
So might as well you do it right now.
Most definitely. And some of our parents don't have no retirement because they're on Social Security and a fixed income. But the key word that I heard you say that I want to kind of dig into was survival mode, right? And I think we've been accustomed to survival mode because our parents are like, I'm broke, we can't get that, we don't have enough, money don't grow on trees. Well, what if we told y'all that money do grow on trees, and actually we don't even need a tree because it's in abundance? If those of you who are following these entrepreneurs who have these challenges and master classes and whatnot, guys, the digital game, crazy. Now, mind you, you need a skill set. You need to make impact, but you can also make money while doing it. So I just want to know from you guys, make sure you share in the comments, what is that one thing that you grew up learning that you now have to unlearn because you see that it's in abundance and it's not what you've been taught? I'll answer that, and I would love for you to answer that. For me, it was more so go to college, get a good job, get retirement, and live your life. And I was on I call it climbing the corporate America ladder, but I got to a point to where there was a ceiling. And in entrepreneurship, correct me if I'm wrong, there is no ceiling. So that money don't grow on trees, and striving to make six figures, y'all. I had a master's, a bachelor's, was in corporate for 20 plus years and still never made six figures. But left and started my coaching business and cleared six figures in 6 months with no team. And the only way I was able to do that is because I had the courage to bet it all on me, but also make an impact and get paid to do what I love to do. It's possible. So what is that thing that you were kind of planted in your head? Your parents said X, Y, Z, but now because we put on our big girl pants, we understand that it ain't real.
So one of the things my mom always said was, you have to work hard. You have to work hard to make it. So I've been working hard my whole adult life, sometimes working 3 jobs, 20-hour days.
Yep.
But when I took that step back and entered entrepreneurship, I realized, like, it's not about working hard. It's about working smart.
I already knew. Listen, we aligned. I already knew SMART. Okay, I'll stop. And what do you mean by working smart? Like, paint that picture for us.
So you see the major CEOs of companies, they don't get down and grind. They're the visionaries. So they take that time back to think, to get that creative download, to give it to a team to implement. So it's all about, we're going back to the self-care. It's all about taking that step back and getting those downloads to be creative and create the solutions to people's problems.
Yes. So I'm hearing visionary, delegate, and lead. Leadership. Now, mind you, maybe you're like, sis, I'm not trying to lead. I just want to get my instructions and work. That's cool too. But for those who are ready to elevate, who are ready to do something that is frowned upon, that's the thing that you need to do. So if you're like, I want to start a coaching business, I want to start my own gaming company, I want to launch a event space, you should do it. You definitely should do it. So as we wrap up, Sheera, what is on the horizon for you, and where can everybody follow you so they can get tapped in and stay connected?
So what's on the rise for me is just focusing on elevation. Just taking this time out before the new year to script out my year and how I want it to look, and just preparing, because 2023 is the year to go hard.
Most definitely. And when you say script out your year, it's funny because I just did a end of the year assessment, and the 3 questions I'm having my audience, my community to ask themselves: number 1, how do you feel about the past season? Most of us go immediately to the negative. I didn't make enough money. No, what did happen? What were you able to accomplish? What was your learning opportunities? How do you feel? What are the facts about what happened? That's all about collecting the data, right? What services did you offer, if you offered any? How much money did you make? How much revenue you brought in? How many clients did you serve? And then the last question is, what is the learning opportunity? What do you want to change? And let's just say you didn't make any money. Okay. But what were you doing? Because even if you didn't make any money, y'all, this is the thing. It's not always about the money. You could be a millionaire, billionaire, and still be unhappy, be unfulfilled, and feel displaced. We just had the situation with Twitch who, I'm going to say allegedly because I don't know what happened, allegedly committed suicide. Everybody's like, he was married, he had beautiful children, he was rich. It's not always about the money. It's about the inner feeling and well-being. So how do you feel about the last season? What was the facts about the last season? And what would you like to change? Because change is inevitable. We can always change when we want to, and we make that decision to do that.
Yes, that's true. And also for the new entrepreneurs, don't beat yourself up if you're not making 6-7 figures. It takes about 5 to 7 years to truly see
increase in revenue.
Increase in revenue.
Yeah.
I mean, there's exceptions, but you just have to keep consistent. Just keep doing what you're doing, and eventually something will come out of it.
Yeah, and I was just on my last episode talking to one of my guests about entrepreneurship is a big hypothesis. Don't nobody really know what they're doing. I don't care. I'm not going to call no names. I don't care if you're the latest, the greatest. You still are fumbling and trying to figure out your footing. And so a lot of times we see the reels, we see the highlights, but we don't see what happens when the lights turn off and the live ends. So please, let's stop comparing ourselves to others and just stay in our lane and make a decision on what we want different for our lives. What would you like to say to the people before we wrap up?
I would say keep consistent, keep doing you, and just enjoy the journey, because it is a journey. And like Lashana said, we don't know what we're doing, but we're just staying consistent, and eventually something has to come out. It's a universal law. So
most definitely. And I would say enjoy the journey, and remember, it's your journey. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Follow Accountability on Demand podcast. This is your Entrepreneur on the Rise segment, and we cannot wait to see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Hey guys, Lashana West here, owner of Pop-Up and Create. I'm so excited that you're tapping in to our multi-purpose content creation studio. At Pop-Up and Create, it is a creative's haven. Co-working, photo shoots, podcasts, events, the whole nine. So if you're wondering, where do I go to create? Pop-Up and Create.